Good morning, students. How are you? And this is the video lecture part 13 for motion in a plane. And today we will solve the two numericals to good numericals based on the projectile in motion. So the first numerical is in front of you. Look at the numerical. At a harbor where ship stops, that is called harbor. In Hindi it is called as bandargah. At a harbor, enemy ship enemy ship is at a distance of 130 meter. Suppose this is the harbor. This is the harbor, and here is the enemy ship. The distance between the harbor and the enemy ship is 180√3 meter. The distance between the harbor and the enemy ship is 130 meter. It is given. From the security cannon, here there is a cannon, means gun. Here there is a gun. Security cannon having the muzzle speed of 60 meter per second. Whatever the firing is going from this gun has the muzzle speed, the speed of the bullet which is coming out of this gun has its speed 60 meter per second. So it is asked that to what angle must the cannon be elevated to hit the ship. So what is the angle, means with which angle the cannon is elevated from the horizontal so that it will hit the ship. Second is the time of flight. What is the time taken by the muzzle or bullet to go to the ship, that is time of flight. And how far should the ship be moved away from its initial position. This is the initial position of the ship, and up to what distance the ship is moved away from its initial position so that it becomes beyond the range of the cannon. Means whatever the range of the cannon, what is the range, what is the distance covered by the muzzle or bullet, what is the movement of the ship from its initial position so that the bullet is not going to reach the ship. So this thing had been asked in the question. This is a basic question but a good question. So we are now going to solve this numerical. Look at its solution. First part, we have to find out, in first part we will find the angle theta. So for hitting the ship, the range of cannon must be equal to the distance of ship from cannon. The distance of ship from cannon. So range, the distance of the ship from the cannon, it is given 130√3. So u square sine 2 theta upon g, it is equal to 180√3. The range is 180√3. From here we can calculate sine 2 theta is equal to 180 root 3 into 10 meter per second square, and initial speed of the muzzle, it is given 60 into 60. So now we will calculate 6 3s are 18, 3 2s are 6. It is equal to under root 3 by 2. So sine 2 theta is equal to sine 2 theta is equal to sine 60 degree, or you can say that 2 theta is equal to 60 degree or 120 degree. This is the value of 2 theta, and from here we can calculate theta is equal to 30 degree or 60 degree. 2 divided here, so 30 degree or 60 degree. So to hit the ship, the cannon must be elevated at an angle of, to hit the ship, ship cannon must be elevated at an angle of 30 degree or 60 degree. Must be elevated means there are two angle of elevations, that is 30 degree and 60 degree, and at these two angle of elevations, if the cannon is firing the muzzle, then that muzzle is going to hit the ship. Now the second one is, we have to calculate the time of flight. We have to calculate the time of flight. So since there are two angles of projection, that is at 30 degree and 60 degree, so for both the angles, for 30 degree the time of flight is t1, and for 60 degree the time of flight is t2. So both the time of flights we can calculate by using the formula. T is equal to 2u sine theta upon g, and from here we can calculate T1 is equal to 2 into 60 upon 10 into sine 30 degree. Sine 30 degree. And it is equal to 2 into 60 upon 10, 1 by 2. That is equal to 6 seconds. This is the value of T1, and T2 is equal to 2 into 60 upon 10 into sine 60 degree, root 3 by 2. 2 into 60 upon 10 into under root 3 by 2, and it is equal to 6 root 3 second. 6 second and 6 root 3 second. These are the two time of flights. Now the maximum range of the cannon. So we had calculated that the maximum range is possible for sine 45 degree. Theta is equal to 45 degree. The maximum range of the cannon, the maximum range of the cannon theta is equal to 45 degree. So R max is equal to U square upon G, that is equal to 60 into 60 upon 10, that is 360 meter. So maximum range is 360 meter. So and initially the ship is 830 root 3. So it is asked that how much the ship will sit that the cannon is the bullet is not going to hit the ship, means how much distance the ship will shift so that the bullet is not going to hit the ship. So it can be calculated the distance moved by the ship so that the muzzle is not going to hit the ship. Muzzle is not going to hit the ship. So the maximum range of the muzzle is 360 meter. So 360 minus 180 root 3, 600 and meter, and it is equal to 48.6 meter. Put the value 1.732 and then multiply and then subtract from this. So if the ship is going to shift with this distance, then the muzzle is not able to hit the ship. So this is all about this question, students. Now the next question, very good question, very interesting question. We are going to discuss on the basis of projectile motion. So look at this question. Yes, dear students, this is the next question and very good question. Look at here, I will draw the diagram. After rubbing this question also, I will draw the diagram. First of all, understand the question, then I will draw the diagram. Here there are two guns situated at the top of the hill. There is a hill, suppose this is the hill, and this is the hill, and this is the top of the hill. This is the top of the hill. Then two guns are situated here. There are two guns which are situated here, and the height from the base, from the origin, the height is 10 meter. It is given. Fire one shot with same speed, 5 root 3. The speed of the muzzle speed or initial speed is 5 root 3 meter per second. One gun fires horizontally. One gun fires just horizontally and other at an angle of 60 degree with the horizontal. The shots collide in the air at point P, and at point P the shots collide. Then find the time interval between the firing. You have to find what are the time interval between the firing and the coordinate of point P, and you have to calculate the coordinate of point P where the two bullets are going to collide. The coordinate of that point you have to find, and it is given the question that the origin is just below the muzzle, or from where the firing is done, just below that position there is the origin, and you have to consider the XY plane. For this numerical you have to consider the XY plane, and where the gun is kept just below the gun you have to take the origin. So now students, we are going to solve this question. We are going to solve this numerical. Look at the solution. we had considered what? XY plane. We had considered this is x axis and this is y axis, and this is the origin. This is the height. This is 10 meter height it is given. From this 10 meter height, the two guns are fired. Two guns are fired at this height. One gun is fired direct horizontally. One gun is fired horizontally. One gun is fired horizontally, and other gun is fired at an angle of 60 degree. Other gun is fired at an angle of 60 degree. This with the horizontal, the angle is 60 degree. This is the firing of first gun, and this is the firing of second gun. Now you have to find out, the first thing you have to find out is that when the two guns are going to collide, what is the time interval between the firing of the two guns? What is the time interval between the firing of the two guns? And the second thing you have to calculate, what is the coordinate of point P. Second thing you have to calculate what is the coordinate of point P. So dear students, I think you had understood the question. The first gun is fired horizontally. Since the first gun is fired horizontally and the speed is given, the initial speed is given in the question, that is 5√3 meter per second. Both the guns have the initial speed of 5√3 meter per second. Now if the gun is fired horizontally, it means to show that in this case there is no any vertical component of the velocity. No any vertical component of the velocity. And for the second gun, here, since it is fired at an angle of 60 degree, so it has both the component. The vertical component is u sine 60 degree and the horizontal component is u cos 60 degree. Clear, students? So based on this we will discuss from equation of motion. From equation of motion, S is equal to S naught plus ut plus half at square. Half at square. So dear students, now we are calculating for first gun. For first gun, the position is x1 position, and initial speed is, since there is acceleration due to gravity, since it is fired horizontally, so there is no any in horizontal direction. If we are taking about x direction movement, then we will not consider about the acceleration due to gravity g. And if we are talking about the position for vertical direction, then we will consider about the acceleration due to gravity. So x1 is equal to 5√3 t1. This is equation number 1. And y1 is equal to 10 minus initial position, as if this is final position, this is initial position. The initial position already given in the question. 10 minus half gt square, because g t1 square. Since in horizontal direction, if you are taking about horizontal, in vertical direction, the initial position is 0. Initial position is 0 and u is 5√3 t1. Acceleration due to gravity is not considered. For vertical position, y1 10 minus half gt, since acceleration due to gravity is opposite to the velocity, so minus half g t1 square. This is equation number 2. And now for second gun, gun. For second gun, x2 is equal to x2. Since for second gun is fired at an angle of 60 degrees, so we will consider for its horizontal component, and its horizontal component is 5 root 3 cos 60 degree into T2. This is equation number 3. And y2 is equal to 10 plus 5 root 3 sine 60 degree T2 minus half g T2 square. This is equation number 4. These are the positions, horizontal position and vertical position we had described for the first gun and second gun. For second gun, since it is fired at an angle of 60 degree, so it is the initial component of velocity 5 root 3 cos 60 degree into time taken T2, and since there is no any acceleration in horizontal direction, so a is equal to 0, so we had taken it as 0. y2 is equal to 10, initial position 10. Since we are talking about the vertical component, y-axis component, so we have to take it as 10 plus 5 root 3 s is equal to ut. S is equal to 10 plus 10 plus ut. ut 5 root 3 sine 60 degree into T2 minus half g T2 square. Now for collision, x1 is equal to x2 and y2. For the point where they will collide, then all the coordinates of the point P will match, means the coordinate will be same. So x1 is equal to x2 and y1 is equal to y2. So look at here. For collision, x1 is equal to x2. So x1 is equal to 5 root 3, t1 equal to 5 root 3, x2 cos 60 degree, and cos 60 degree is 1 upon 2 into T2. And from here we will calculate the relation between T1 and T2. 5 root 3 cancel out, and T1 is equal to 1 by 2 T2, and T2 is equal to 2 T1. This is the relation from the first. Now for the second, this is for the x coordinate, then for y coordinate y1 is equal to y2, and y1 is equal to what? 10 minus 1 by 2 g t1 square is equal to 10 plus, look at here, sine 60 degree. So 10 plus sine 60 degree is equal to sine 60 degree root 3 by 2. So it will become 5 root 3 into root 3 by 2 T2. Yes, T2 minus half g T2 square, minus half g T2 square. So it will become 5 3s are 15. So it will become 10 minus half g T1 square equal to 10 plus 15 upon 2 T2 minus half G T2 square. And from here again we will calculate the relation between T1 and T2. Now look here for relation between T1 and T2. 10 minus half G T1 square is equal to 10 plus 15 by 2 T2 minus half G T2 square. 10 to 10 cancel out and it will become half G T2 square minus T1 square is equal to 15 by 2 T2, and it becomes G T2 square minus T1 square is equal to 15 T2. Now in the first case we had calculated about T2 is equal to twice of T1. So T2 is equal to twice of T1, it will become G twice of T1 means 4 T1 square. 4 T1 square minus it will become 4 T1 square minus T1 square 30 T1, and it becomes G into 3 T1 30 T1, and it will become T1 to T1 cancel out and it becomes T1 is equal to 30 upon 3Z. It means T1 is equal to 10. T1 is equal to 10 second. 1 second. Putting G is equal to 10, putting Z is equal to 30 upon 30, that is equal to 1 second. And T2 is equal to 2 seconds. So time interval between delta t is equal to 2 seconds minus 1 second, that is equal to 1 second. Delta t is equal to 1 second. Delta t is equal to T2 minus T1, that is 2 seconds minus 1 second, that is equal to 1 second. And putting the value of T1 and T2 in x1 and y1, putting the values of T1 and T2 in x1 and y1, we get the coordinates of point P. On putting the value of T1 and T2 in x1 and y1, whatever the positions we had calculated, on putting the values in x1 and y1 which we have calculated, we can get the value of coordinates of x1 and y1. So it will be 5 root 3 comma 5 root 3 comma 5. This is the position or coordinate of point P on xy plane where two bullets are going to collide with each other. So dear students, that's all for today, and in the next video we will discuss about circular motion. Okay students, thank you, have a nice day, take care.